All right, back with another video. Now today I'm going completely off board. I picked up this Yamaha Motif XF61 and it's a 40th anniversary special edition model. I picked this up, it's mint. And basically I'm just going to take you through this keyboard. I haven't got a clue about this keyboard. I'm completely clueless as to how to use this thing, but I know it's excellent. So I'm just going to take you through like the keys and the buttons, the knobs and the inputs and outputs, and just a brief explanation because I don't really know much about this keyboard, but I know it's a brilliant keyboard. So I'm going to take you through it. Also, I'm probably going to discuss whether keyboards like this are future classics, and in maybe 10 to 15 years, keyboards like this, some keyboards, shoot up in price, depending on what it is, depending on how many of them were made. So obviously I've got this special edition model, which was made in 2014. And it was one of the last ones manufactured by Yamaha before they discontinued the product. So some keyboards are going to be worth a lot of money in the future. Like maybe the Korg Oasis, maybe, because it was worth so much money to begin with. It was worth like $8,000 brand new. So a lot of keyboards like that, they're naturally worth a lot of money because they didn't sell maybe that many. It all depends on the numbers and stuff, but I'm going to be taking you through this keyboard here. It's a 61 key synthesizer, workstation, sampler. It's got everything on it. It's got a lot of technology on here that you don't find in like other samplers and stuff. It's got good onboard technology. It links to computer networks and stuff like that. So if you've got a network in your house, it can pick up any one of the computers through the Ethernet. It's crazy. I've never heard of that before, but it's got USB in and out. It takes WAVs. It does all sorts. It's got a sequencer. It's got a lot of sounds on there. It has categories, then it has subcategories for those categories. You can import sounds. It does all kinds of stretching, sound manipulation. It's got its own faders for the sounds. It's got everything on there. It's a beautiful keyboard. So I'm just going to be taking you through it. Now I'm going to show you the back panel and show you the inputs and outputs first. And then I'm going to swing back around to the front and show you all the knobs, the buttons and faders and stuff like that, the screen and stuff. So let me whiz around the back and just show you the back of this thing. All right, so we're now at the back. So here we got the on button, the on and off button. This machine's actually got a automatic switch off. Like, so when I first got it, I left the room and I came back and the screen was black and there was no lights on it. And I thought, no way. I thought the thing had like blown, something had blown. But then I went through the settings and I realized it's got automatic switch off, which you can set where you can turn it off. So I turned it off. Here we got an Ethernet connection, so you can connect that to your internet. Here we got an expansion slot for Firewire. So if you've got like a Firewire sound card or something interface, you can hook it up to the back there if you had the expansion. So we got two USBs. We've got one here to go to the computer, so you can hook up your computer, your PC or your laptop. And then we got this one here. This is for a memory card, so you can put a hard drive, memory card, zip drive, whatever you want. As long as it's got the right format inside it, you can use it. Here we've got this little knob here, and that's just for the LED contrast, LCD contrasting. So that's that side. So let me take you onto the other side and let you see that. So on this side here, we got this digital output. Okay. And then we got a MIDIs. We got the MIDI through, MIDI out, and the MIDI in right there. And then we got the foot switch We've got 2 foot switches, which are assignable, sustain. And then we got 2 foot controllers. They're just foot controllers. And then we got the assignable outputs here, left and right here. And then we got the output, the main out. We got right, left, but we got mono here. And we got a phone's output. And we've also got 2 inputs here, analog to digital. So we got a right and a left mono here, okay? With a gain switch right here. So you can control your gain input right here with this little gain knob here. So that's the back. There is 1 slot underneath for the memory cards. I think it has 2 slots. There's 1 slot, but when you open it up, there's 2 slots there with like 2 cards in there. This one's got 1 card, but you can fit 2 in it. So yeah, that's the back. And it's very neat, as you can see. So I'm gonna swing back around to the front and show you the front panel, what the front panel's looking like briefly. Because like I said, I don't even know what all the buttons are or anything. So it's not like an MPC or ASR 10 or whatever where I know it. I actually don't know this. So I'll just take you through what I know. So here, we've got a pitch wheel here and a modulation wheel, assignable as usual, you know how it goes. And then we got this pad here. You can manipulate the sound with this pad here by like brushing your finger along it. So yeah, that's that section there. All right, so now I'm just gonna concentrate on this section here. This here is the main volume fader. And these are 8 like assignable faders, but they're the main volumes for your tracks. So like track 1 to 8, as you can see here at the bottom, it says volume. But these can be used, these are used for other things as well on the Motif. Okay, they're assignable and you can use them for other things apart from the volume for the tracks. So like I said, this is the main volume fader here. Here we got 2 assignable function buttons. Okay. And then we got the multi-part control. So you can control the reverb, chorus, or pan here. And you got these 8 knobs here. These are exactly the same. They do different things, okay? You can assign them and they do different things around the system. Yeah. So here you got a channel part control button. You've got tone 1, tone 2, and arpeggio effects here. You can control them here with this knob. You just press this button to light up whichever option you want, and then you go ahead from there. So yeah, so that's that section. Like I said, it's very neat and tidy, and I like it. But like I said, I haven't got a clue about the keyboard as such yet, but I will get used to it in time, no doubt. All right, so this top section here, you got tone 1, tone 2, and arpeggio effects. Basically, you select that by pressing the selected part control button, and then you can control any of these parameters here that are named here. So like you got cut off, resonance, attack, decay, sustain, release, assign 1 and 2. And then you got, for tone 2, you've got EQ. So it's EQ low, EQ mid, and then we got another mid here, and then we got another mid Q, and then EQ high, and then you got pan, reverb, and chorus. And then these are the controls for the arpeggio effects, which is swing, quantized value, quantized strength, gate time, velocity, octave range, and uni multiply and tempo. And you control these with these 8 knobs here, whichever one. So yeah, that's that part. So here I'm just going to concentrate on this section. So here we got a remote button, turn it on or off. You got an arpeggio button, on or off. We got effects, on or off. So we got insertion button, system button, and a master button right there. Here you can control the octave. If you want to lower it, higher it, you got down and up here. And then obviously here, that's the transport panel, okay? It's called sequence transport. We've got a back button, skip back, skip forward, record, stop, and play button. Very nice. As you can see next there, you got the screen. I'm going to zoom in a bit on the screen so you can see the screen. So this is the screen right here. It's got a nice LCD screen. You can adjust it. You can change the colors. You can change the graphics. And it's got a switch at the back, obviously, that shows you that you can adjust the contrast or the brightness of the screen. So here you got 12 buttons in total. 10 of the 12 buttons are named 0 to 9. Okay. So these top buttons here are called SF buttons. And then you got the F keys here underneath them. And they control the parameters that are on the screen. So you press it and it just goes to the parameter. Very nice. You can control a number of doors as well with this keyboard. Like you can get full control of the door. So like if you press the utility button, you come to this screen here and then you press F5 for control. And there, as you can see, it says door type. You can move it around. Look, you got Cubase, Logic, Sonar, Digital Performer, or Pro Tools. Yeah. So on this side here, this little section, we got a rotary knob here, as you can see. And then we got a yes button and a no button. And then we got up, down, left and right, and then exit and an enter or execute button. So yeah, that's that section. That's just for the controls, getting around the menus and stuff like that. All right, so on this section here, we got this section. We're going to look at this whole section here. So we got the mode section. And in this mode section, you got a voice button, performance, master. And then here, we got the sequencer section here. And then you got this button here, it says song. And then we got a pattern button here. And then sequence setup. Underneath these buttons, you got multi-part written. Here we got the integrated sampling button, mixing button. We've got the file button here. That's for obviously loading. That's for loading files and stuff like that. We've got the utility button. We've got an edit, compare button. And we've got the job button here. This is for doing like certain jobs. You press that button. It's like an extra option button. It's like the option button that opens up the options. Here we got a store, and scene store, set locate, this button here. So now we move on to this other section here. So these buttons here are called section. So these buttons here are like categories. So like underneath the buttons, you've got which category it is. So if you want to select a sound and select it by category, you press this button here and then you can select the categories here, but it comes up on the screen as well, obviously, and you can select it from the screen. So like under here, under the buttons, you've got like piano, keyboard, organ, guitar, bass, strings, brass, sax, woodwind, synth lead, pad, choirs, synth comp, don't know what that means, but, and then we got chromatic percussion, drum percussion, sound effects, musical effects, and ethnic. So here, as you can see, it says section, I can't even see that. And then you got, under here, you got section A to H, which are the subcategories, what I spoke about earlier. So these are lettered A to H, okay? Also above these, you got PRE. I don't know what that means, but PRE 1 to 8. And then above these buttons, you've got user 1 to 4. And then you've got general MIDI, something else. And then you got PRE, OR, and then you got user OR, whatever that means. Here we got a program button. Down here we got the common edit button. You got the part select here, numbered 1 to 8, and then you got the arpeggiator on off under there as well. You got part mute, arpeggiator hold, and then you got these buttons here, 9 to 12. We've also got a mute button here and a solo. You got the track button, track select, so you press this and then you select the track. And then you got a performance control button. So that's it, that's all the buttons as best as I know them. Like I said to you, I don't really know this machine that well, but I will get to know it, and I'll be doing future videos about it once I get to grips with the actual machine. So yeah. So that's about it on the video. Like I said, I'll be doing future videos once I get to grips with this machine. But another subject that I wanted to touch on is, will this keyboard be a future classic? Because, you know, obviously we've had a lot of keyboards from the past, from the 70s and 80s, and now they're worth a lot of money. So there's going to be a resurgence of that in the future with the keyboards that are out today and been out since the 90s. There's going to be certain keyboards that have been out from the 90s that are going to be worth a lot of money in the future. So do you think that the Yamaha Motif is a future classic? Let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed the video.